We spend so much time focusing on the toxins inside our home, things like paint, flooring, furniture, but we often overlook the very first line of defense that our home has. Your yard is more than just curb appeal. It is a living, breathing buffer zone that dictates the quality of the air you and your family breathe every single day. In the world of building biology, we refer to the home as our third skin. Just as your biological skin protects your internal organs from the environment, your landscape is designed to protect your home's ecosystem from moisture and toxins. Today, we're going to deep dive into the science behind landscaping for a healthy home. We're going to look at why the specific way your soil slopes can be the difference between a dry basement and chronic mold issues. We're also going to look at what trees you can choose for around your property that actually act as a very extensive filter for particulate matter before it gets in your home. And we'll dive into why a healthy soil microbiome is actually a secret weapon for supporting your family's immune system. Welcome back. I'm Amanda. I'm a building biology practitioner, a certified home inspector, and a healthy home expert. And today we are going to cover landscaping and specifically how to landscape your home to create a healthier indoor space. To truly understand landscaping for a healthy home, we have to shift our perspective. So in my work as a building biology practitioner, I don't see a house as a static box. Instead, I see it as an extension of our own biological systems. We refer to it as a third skin, and this third skin needs to be able to breathe. It needs to stay dry, and it needs to be able to filter out pollutants. So the boundary between your lawn and your living room is actually much more porous than it appears. Every chemical applied outside and every ounce of moisture in the soil eventually interacts with your indoor environment. Now, the most critical health element of your yard is moisture control. So think of the soil around your foundation as a massive reservoir. And if that water isn't managed through proper landscaping, it becomes a primary source of indoor air quality issues. So in building biology, we prioritize a hygienic building fabric. And all this means is that we're keeping the structure dry. So when the foundation stays damp, it actually creates a localized microclimate where mold and bacteria can thrive long before you ever see it. So let's look at the physics. Negative grading. When the yard slopes towards the house, this is negative grading, it actually creates hydrostatic pressure. And because concrete, which most of us have as a foundation, is a very porous material, it acts like a hard sponge. So through a process called capillary action, this moisture is pulled through the foundation walls and into your basement or your crawl space. Now, this constant dampness leads to growth of mold and bacteria, and it will release microbial volatile organic compounds. We call these MVOCs into your air. So this is why when you go in a basement, it smells super musty. This is the problem. So for a healthy home, you want positive grading. And this is where the ground slopes away at least 1 inch per foot. And this would go out for the first about 10 feet from your home. One of the easiest changes that you can make when we're looking at the perimeter of your home is creating a dead zone around your foundation. So I recommend a 12 to 18 inch border of river rock or pea stone. So you might be wondering why. This is because dense garden beds and wood mulch hold onto organic matter and moisture, and they create a moisture bridge directly against your home. They hold on to that moisture. So by using stone instead, you actually allow the foundation to breathe and you prevent soil-borne fungus from splashing back into your siding during a rainstorm, which protects both the structure and your indoor air quality. So shifting just a little bit, there's a statistic that usually surprises people, and that is that science shows 60 to 80% of the dust inside your home is actually tracked in from the outside. So this means that the health of your soil directly dictates the health of your house dust. And when we talk about landscaping for a healthy home, we are actually talking about controlling the chemical and the biological makeup of the dust that your pets and your children come in contact with every single day. If you're navigating a home project right now, or you're trying to figure out if your home is actually safe, I know that it can feel really overwhelming. You might be guessing about invisible toxins or trying to figure out where a damp odor is coming from. It might even be trying to fix stagnant air in your home without a clear plan. In order to give families my dedicated attention, I take just 4 virtual one-on-one consultations a week to help you set up a clear plan for your home. We can look at your space together and come up with a science-backed plan and a step-by-step roadmap that leaves you feeling confident about your home. Simply click the link above or in the video description below to set up your one-on-one consultation with me so that we can walk through your home and create that plan together. Also need to look at shielding your air. So when synthetic pesticides or herbicides are applied to a lawn, they don't just stay in the grass. They undergo volatilization. So what this means is that they're turning into gases, and once they're in gas formation, they can drift into your home through open windows or air intakes for days or even weeks after they're applied. These chemicals are often endocrine disruptors. They can interfere with your hormonal health. And if you live near like a managed area like a golf course or a park or something like that, your landscaping can act as a literal shield for these things. What we want to use are thick natural buffers that can help trap these gases before they reach our windows. And so instead of trying to sterilize your yard with chemicals, what we actually want to do is encourage a diverse soil microbiome. So there's this hypothesis called the hygiene hypothesis, and what it suggests is that exposure to a diverse range of natural, beneficial soil microbes actually helps regulate our immune system, and it can even reduce stress. So by using organic compost and aerating your lawn, you actually promote the growth of beneficial bacteria. When these natural microbes are tracked in, they can contribute to a healthy indoor biome rather than a toxic one. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean then we just wear our shoes in the house all the time, but just understand that even if you don't wear your shoes in your house, some of those things are still coming in, and so we want them to be beneficial, not toxic. So let's look at some active detoxification strategies. Phytoremediation. This is one of my favorite scientific concepts that you can actually apply to your yard. So what it is the use of living plants to clean up the soil, the air, and the water. And some plants are specifically meant to do this. They can actually pull heavy metals and toxins out of the soil and store them in their tissue. So by selecting the right species for your region, you can actually turn your yard into an active living detoxification system that's working 24/7 to keep your property clean. And talking about trees even more, they're actually a sophisticated air filtration unit. So they provide a layer of defense called dry deposition, where the leaves and the needles trap particulate matter that would normally come into your home. So these particles are tiny enough to enter our bloodstream through the lungs, and this can cause cardiovascular stress. We know that inhaling high levels of particulate matter can actually be harmful to our health. So evergreens, such as the white pine or spruce, these are excellent because they actually provide this filtration all year long. And they also act as a buffer against noise pollution. This is something that we've talked about in previous videos, how our homes need to be sensory friendly. Even if you're not sensitive to it, it actually is better for your brain. Science shows that lower noise levels can lower cortisol levels in the body. Also look at cooling power and preventing material outgassing with trees as well. So deciduous trees like maples, oaks, they're a powerhouse for gaseous absorption. They pull pollutants like nitrogen dioxide and ozone through their pores, but they also offer thermal buffering. So by shading your home during the summer, they prevent your siding and your roofing from reaching temperatures that cause outgassing. And when building materials get too hot, they release VOCs. We've talked about this lots of times. Now, a well-placed tree can keep your home cool and prevent those chemicals from entering your indoor air. Annual aeration is so beneficial to the health of your landscape. So proper water management, it's a pillar of healthy landscape, and standing water is not just a pest issue. It can actually create localized humidity spikes that stress the home's exterior, not to mention you're just inviting mosquitoes and bugs to live in your yard. So I recommend aerating your lawn probably once a year. This can allow oxygen and nutrients to each root, fostering a deep root system. A healthy, aerated lawn can act as a sponge that actually manages heavy rainfall effectively. And this in turn will prevent that water from running off and pooling against your foundation. So let's talk about rain barrels for a second. This is a fantastic tool for a healthy home. They actually allow you to reroute water away from that moisture map of your foundation and store it for later use. Now, when you're storing it for later use, keep in mind, from a biological perspective, rainwater is much better for your gardens than city water. Municipal water contains chlorine, and this chlorine is designed to kill bacteria. And so while that's good for the safety of your pipes and your water heater, it can actually harm the beneficial soil microbes that we want to cultivate in our healthy home landscape. Now, the ultimate goal of landscaping for a healthy home, it's actually to facilitate an innate connection to nature. Scientific studies show that spending time in a green environment actually reduces blood pressure, and it can also improve heart rate variability. So because we spend so much time indoors, surrounded by synthetic materials and EMFs, the body actually needs a reset. So a comfortably designed, non-toxic yard can provide the perfect environment for your nervous system to move into that rest and digest mode so your body can heal. Taking a building biology approach to your yard is one of the most effective ways to create that protective buffer that your home and your health need. It isn't about having a perfect manicured lawn, but it is about fostering a living system that can support your family's vitality. So if you're ready to start auditing your environment, I have a resource to help you, and that is this week's blog post. I have broken down all of the ways that you can use your landscaping strategically to improve the health of your home. I have the link above or in the video description below, and it will give you a clear science-based set of steps to turn your home and your yard really into a true sanctuary. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're able to take at least one idea from this week's video and apply it to your own home. If you did find this video helpful, definitely give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm here every single week with new tips, new ideas on how you can create a space that actually supports your health and your wellness.